Emotions rule more of our lives than we realize. They shape our decisions, our relationships, and even how we see ourselves. But some emotions feel confusing, even contradictory. Why do we laugh when we're nervous? Why does sadness make us feel strangely calm at times? And why do we feel guilty for being happy? Today we'll dive deep into the psychology behind your most confusing emotions, exploring how the brain, body, and experiences weave together to create feelings that don't always make sense. By the end, you'll have a clearer map of your emotional world, and maybe a new perspective on yourself. 1. The science of mixed emotions. Have you ever felt both excited and scared at the same time? Or happy and sad in a single moment? This is the science of mixed emotions. The brain doesn't just process one feeling at a time, it blends them. Graduation, weddings, even moving to a new city all show us how joy and sadness can coexist. Psychologists say this conflict comes from different parts of the brain pulling us in different directions, making us feel both uplifted and heavy all at once. 2. Why we cry when we're happy. It may seem strange to shed tears in moments of joy, but crying is not always a symbol of sadness. Scientists call this dimorphous expression, when your body uses an opposite reaction to balance intense emotions. Crying during happiness helps regulate overwhelming feelings, giving your brain and body a release valve so you don't overflow with energy. 3. Laughter in sad or stressful situations. Have you ever laughed at a funeral? Or during a stressful exam? That awkward, nervous laugh isn't because you're being disrespectful. It's your body's way of releasing tension. Psychology explains this as a defense mechanism. Laughter lowers stress hormones and signals to those around us that we're trying to stay calm, even when the situation feels unbearable. 4. The strange comfort of sadness. Why do people watch sad movies or listen to heartbreaking songs? It's because sadness has a strange comfort. When we cry for fictional characters or music, our brains release oxytocin and endorphins, giving us a feeling of relief and connection. Sadness makes us reflect, slows us down, and sometimes even helps us feel alive. 5. Guilt and happiness at the same time. Imagine enjoying a success, but feeling guilty that others didn't get the same. Or laughing with friends when someone close to you is struggling. That mix of guilt and happiness is common. Psychology shows us that guilt often arises when pleasure conflicts with personal morals or social rules. It's your mind trying to balance between enjoying life and staying loyal to your values. 6. Anger that hides fear. Many times, anger is just fear in disguise. When someone lashes out, they may actually be afraid of rejection, loss, or being vulnerable. From an evolutionary perspective, anger is a shield. It makes us look strong when we feel weak inside. By learning to ask what fear hides behind anger, we can begin to respond with understanding instead of judgment. 7. Nostalgia. Sweet and painful. Nostalgia is one of the most bittersweet emotions. Looking at old photos can make you smile and ache at the same time. Psychologists explain that nostalgia triggers the brain's reward centers, reminding us of belonging and meaning. But it also highlights the passage of time, which is why it stirs up both joy and loss simultaneously. 8. Anxiety and excitement feel the same. Your heart races, palms sweat, and thoughts speed up. Is it anxiety or excitement? Surprisingly, the body reacts almost identically in both cases. The only difference is interpretation. Athletes, speakers, and performers often reframe anxiety as excitement, turning fear into fuel. The line between these emotions is much thinner than we think. 9. Love and hate toward the same person. Why do we sometimes love and hate the same person? It's because both emotions are fueled by passion and strong attachment. The chemicals in our brain, dopamine, oxytocin, cortisol, can swing us from deep affection to deep frustration. That's why relationships can be full of highs and lows, because intense bonds always carry the potential for both love and anger. 10. Feeling empty yet overwhelmed. Have you ever felt everything at once and nothing at all? This paradox often comes during stress, trauma, or burnout. The brain protects itself by shutting down emotions when they become too overwhelming, leaving us feeling empty. But at the same time, our nervous system is overloaded with hidden tension. This confusing state can make us feel numb and chaotic at once. 11. Why we self-sabotage even when we want success. One of the most confusing emotional battles is wanting success but still sabotaging yourself. Deep inside, fear of failure, fear of judgment, or even fear of responsibility can hold us back. The conscious mind says go for it, but the unconscious whispers stay safe. That inner tug-of-war creates behaviors that confuse us, like procrastination, avoidance, or giving up too soon. 12. Turning emotional confusion into clarity. The good news is, confusing emotions don't have to control us. By journaling, practicing mindfulness, and seeking therapy, we can untangle these inner conflicts. Accepting that emotions are complex, rather than fighting them, helps us find peace. Confusion is not a weakness. It's a sign that your mind is processing, growing, and adapting. Emotions are not meant to be simple. They're the language of your inner world, sometimes chaotic, often mysterious, but always meaningful. By learning the psychology behind your most confusing emotions, you gain power over how you react, how you connect with others, and how you see yourself. So the next time you feel joy mixed with sorrow, or fear hidden beneath anger, remember, it's just your brain reminding you that being human is beautifully complex. If this video gave you new insight, hit like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs to hear it. And always remember, your emotions aren't your enemy, they're your greatest guide.